Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Timbo Took, and this is A Joy of Painting Middle-earth, a time when we come together to paint the most fantastic landscapes Middle-earth has to offer, and maybe we'll paint a scary one a time or two. That can be quite fun, you know. Now, I may not be the best painter in the Shire, but I do love it so, and I'd love for you to join me. So grab your paints and your brushes, and let's go on an adventure. All right, and thank you for joining me for another painting. We're ready to go. We have our white canvas today, and we've prepared that by already putting down that magic white, that liquid white paint that gives us that wet on wet technique. That's right. So today's painting is going to be kind of a continuation of last week's painting. Last week we painted Gandalf fighting the Balrog as they fell through that cavern, into that lake. Now they've climbed the never-ending stair, and it did end because it got to the top of the mountain, and they've come out through the window in Durin's tower. That's right on top of the mountain, and it sticks up so high it's above the clouds. So that's all that can be seen right in the center there. So today's painting is going to be a lot about clouds and doing variations and things in the clouds. And then, of course, we'll put the tower in and put Gandalf. So let's get to it. We're just going to make our clouds. They're going to be darkest right here in the center and a little bit lighter on top and then a little bit lighter on the bottom, because these clouds are going to be the tops of the clouds. Under here it's going to be more of the bottom and more clouds up top. So there we go. That's how we're doing it today. We're going to just come into our titanium white. Let's put that up here. We'll put that in there, and we're going to come to some of our ivory black here. And we're going to make a dark color. Some of these clouds will be very dark. So we'll just make these colors up right here. There we go. So we have a little variation you can see there. So we'll come in real dark at first. We're going to put, as I said, this part is going to be the bottom of the clouds. So we're going to put some dark in here. Our tower is going to be here in the center. There we are. And you say, oh, Timbo, this looks like a mess. So that's all right. You'll see, you'll see. And I'm going to leave some room there. I'm not going to do it too dark right where our tower is going to be right in the center. But we'll just focus on bringing that out here. There we are, right up this way. Now what we're going to do, we'll put a little more in over here. A little more in over here. I've got those darks in, so now I'm going to go to a little bit lighter. We're going in a little bit lighter here. We're going to lighten this up. Now we'll come up, and that isn't a whole lot of variation. Now let's go to some of our titanium white. Right there. Let's just bring that in. We'll do it with this corner. I did mostly the dark on that corner, so we'll do it in this corner, but we'll just lighten that up just a little. Just get that lighter gray going. There we go. And we still have some of those dark variations in there, but that's all right. You'll see. We'll just mix it together. We'll come down, do the same on the bottom. And you see, it's just kind of mushing it in there. There's not a lot of detail. We're going to have one mountain sticking through here, but for the most part, it's just going to be these clouds. There we go. Now we can start. Let's just start mushing this together. Now we don't want to turn it into just one color. There'll be many colors, variations in there. There you go. And if you're new to the channel, I always forget to tell people, oh, just hit that like and subscribe, and maybe even hit that bell button where it tells you anytime I have a new painting that comes out. Oh, we do these each week usually. I try and put one out a week. Although I have 4 little hobbits, so, well, they're not so little anymore. But they keep life busy, that's right. And you'll see there's a little bit of a purple haze there. That midnight black that I'm using. Yes, that midnight black, it's not quite. A lot of times I use ivory black, which is a little darker. This midnight black isn't so dark. But that's okay. It gives us a nice effect. A nice effect of a gloomy, gloomy day. Now let's just soften these out a bit. Now I'm going to come to this giant filbert brush. I just had this laying around. I found it a few weeks ago. I was like, I didn't even know I had this brush. It must have come in some sort of brush pack that I picked up, maybe. I don't know. But it makes a fun one. It has a nice rounded edge there. So what we're going to do, let's start at the bottom here. We're going to have some clouds that billow in here. So we'll just put those in just like that. And then we'll mix these in and soften them out a bit. But we're trying to give some variation in here. There we go. Just making these roll in. Just doing some cloud work here, just following where you see those light lines. There we are. Now, let's come. Well, I'm going to grab one of these blender brushes. These nice soft brushes. They shed a lot, so just try and pull some of maybe the hairs that are on the edge of being very loose. And let's just come down here and let's just mix this in. Just blend that in very gently. And it's just going to give our clouds a little bit more shape. There we go. As I said, Gandalf and that Balrog, oh, they went all the way down to the bottom, even further than the dwarves had ever delved. Oh, making up words now. Dwelt. I guess dwelt is a word. And this was quite the storm. Anybody who looked up, all they would have seen was the storm, as Gandalf said. But if anybody had seen it, oh, it would have been a battle for the ages. That is right. Battle at the peak is what old Mr. Gandalf called it. Oh, of course, Gandalf the White after this fight. It was such a fight, it changed the order of his wizardry. And we'll come over here. Let's do the same. Just lift that. Be the wind lifting that up. There we are. Now we push it in. Circle it into the canvas. And this might be... oh, it might be a little boring for you just to watch me spinning these clouds in. Oh, but it's fun to do. It's fun to do. So if you jump ahead, I don't mind. Just let me know in the comments what you think of these paintings and these scenes. Circling that back down. You can do this for hours and hours. You can do this. You can take a whole afternoon and do this sort of thing over and over and over. That's right. Just putting in more and more details. There we go. But the true fun of this painting is once we get to the tower with old Mr. Gandalf fighting that Balrog. But maybe I'm a little scared to get to that part of the painting. Maybe old Timbo isn't too confident in his skills with the blade. One of these furry blades, anyways. But we'll get there and we'll work on it. But for right now, it's fun just to make these clouds. Just look at your painting. Look at where the dark spots are, the light spots. Just put those in, follow that along. And that'll give you depth. That'll give some separation there. It'll give some depth to your clouds, that's for sure. And we just come back and we can clean that off a little and lift these up. And then just the bottom of that cloud, you're going to circle in. Circle that in. And that's just going to give you all kinds of different things there. And you see that separation right there. This part of the cloud was very dark back there, and then we have that spot right in front of it. Oh, that makes it, you don't want that to mix together too much. It just gives you some depth. You can feel like that's very far away and this is closer to you. We'll come back, get some more of that titanium white. And you can go where you've had your cloud started and maybe you want it to be a little brighter on this side. Just put some titanium white in there. And then again, just circle that in. Giving that some good contrast. There we go. There we have our clouds. Maybe we'll put one more. We'll work one more up before we go to our tower. Let's put one right up here. Right up here, right there. Kind of an area that needs to be filled. All right, so we've put that in. Back to our blender brush now. And now we're just going to smooth this into our canvas. There we go. There we go. Some of that wind coming right across the top. And that gives us this nice background for this painting. Now let's make it not so nice by making a fight in there. There we go, right here, poking through the clouds, and we'll come back and we'll probably soften it out as it comes through the clouds. But here, mix in their midnight black, some of that Van Dyke brown. Pull that out. And then here's the top of the mountain. Right here. It sticks right up here. And there was a flat area here. With some ruins on top. bring this up. There we are. So this is the top of the never-ending stair. Although it's called the never-ending stair, obviously it came to an end. It came to an end right here. Right here there was a window that Balrog popped out. Oh, Mr. Gandalf had him on the run for days, I imagine. I imagine it was quite the journey. And there we go. That would come down there. These are some of the side of the mountain. Maybe the mountain grew up right here. Just scrape that excess paint into there. There we go. Now, set that to the side for right now. Just going to take our 1-inch brush and we're just going to pull this down. Pull this down at the bottom. And we're just tapping that in. It's picking up that paint that's underneath. That's just that top of our mountain there. And of course our Tower of Durin right there. All right. Let's set to putting a Balrog and a wizard in here. Now, when old Mr. Gandalf and that Balrog, they plunged down into that lake. Oh, it extinguished the fire of the Balrog. And Mr. Gandalf, he chased him up the stairs, and he popped out of a window here up onto the top, and as soon as he got out into the air, poof, the flames came back again. So, let's take some alizarin crimson. We're going to put some of that, just a bit of that. We're going to make a spot here, where some flames will be. And then we're going to put our Balrog in there. So there's, just with some alizarin crimson, just kind of putting that area there. All right, just a little of that. Just a little of that. Now, we're going to come to some of this bright red. And we're going to put some of this bright red in here. There we go. Now we're going to tap some of that off, and we're going to come to some of this yellow. And we're going to put our yellow in here. making that flame color there. Getting that to stick can be a little bit of a trick. That's right. Once you've put down some paint, oh, it needs to be a little thinner to stick to it. Now I'm going to come and we're going to billow some black smoke off of this. That's right. So here we're just coming and we're just going to billow some. We're just putting this out like this. Probably should have put that smoke down first, but that's okay. All right, now that we have that down, I've got a little blender brush here, just a small one. We're doing a lot of different things today. With this. But we just want to give that some motion. Just to make you feel like this fire was just spilling off this Balrog. Almost like it's a fireball there. There we go. Let's set that off to the side for now. And we're gonna come and make our Balrog here. If I can. I'm just gonna start. He's gonna be right here in the center of this fire. There's our Balrog. That beast. That Balrog of Morgoth. That's right. Just putting him atop here. Coming back, picking up more of that black. There we go. Just putting in the shape of his body here. We're far off seeing this. Oh, poor Mr. Gandalf is right up close fighting this feller. I wouldn't want to be that close to a Balrog. No, no. I wouldn't want to be up close like old Mr. Gandalf. We'll put a rock. Maybe there's a rock right here that he's going to be standing on. He's going to have 1 foot on that rock. Just give him a little bit of interesting stance. There we go. That Balrog there. Now these little fine details. Oh, for old Timbo's unsteady hands, they're a little tough. Mountains and clouds are a little more my speed. But we're telling a story on the canvas, so just because I don't have the steadiest of hands doesn't mean I can't take a crack at telling the story as I would, in my way, just in my way. Let's see. Maybe he's got an arm raised here. Ready to strike a blow at old Gandalf. There we go. And we'll have to put something in that hand. We know... Just putting this in. We know he grabbed a hold of Mr. Gandalf at one point. Mr. Gandalf said, oh, his grip was like that of a snake. So we know at one point he got hold of old Mr. Gandalf. Oh, I would not want to be in that position. And maybe we'll give him some wings. But maybe at this point, those wings are broken from his battle that had been going on with Mr. Gandalf. He would have liked to escape that old wizard a lot easier. I think at first he thought he would defeat that wizard, but he was not quite ready. No. One-on-one combat with a Balrog, that's a scary situation. That is a scary situation. Oh, there we go. What a Balrog that is. What a Balrog that is. Now we'll put something in his hand here. As he's a weapon there. We'll just scrape out that short side of this palette knife. We'll see if we can get that to stick. We only have like one shot at this. Oh. Maybe two. There we go. There we go. That's... Oops. I think I dropped something back there. That's how it goes. Let's take a little bit of this yellow. We'll put it right there. Whether this is a sword, maybe just the edge of his whip. Maybe his whip was cut by Gandalf. Oh, we don't have all the details of their battle, but we just use our imagination. That flaming tongue from that whip that he had. There we go. All right. Now we got a wizard here. He wasn't quite the white wizard yet. No. This was the battle that would test him. This was the battle that would test him. So we've got old Gandalf the Grey. There we go. There's the color of our wizard's robe. Oh, it's probably raggedy and torn up at this point. So here's our wizard. Right on top of this mountain as well. Fighting for his life. Fighting for all of Middle-earth. There we go. And we're far away, so there's not a lot of detail there. Not a lot of detail. Now, it's hard to fight in a robe. I imagine it's hard to fight in a robe. I've done a little bit of fighting in pajamas. Or at least that's what some people call them. Some people call it a gi. But, oh, Mr. Gandalf, he was fighting in his robe here. Not a bathrobe. It's a wizard's robe. I'd rather fight in a wizard's robe than maybe anything else. There's probably a lot of pockets in there with things that would be useful. That's right, I would think that would be useful, wouldn't you? We got old Mr. Gandalf. And maybe he's raising his arm. Here. Maybe he's got his arm raised in the air. There we go. Now, let's put that old wizard's hair on him. Let's put some hair on that old wizard. See if we can get this to stick. There we go. Right there. I actually made him a little taller than I was planning. His hair turned him... Maybe he's got a perm. Maybe old Gandalf got a perm and his hair gave him an extra 6 inches. Oh, that's right. Like my sister's bangs. Oh, back 40 years ago. Just trying to get this old wizard done. Just trying to get this old wizard done. All right. Now let's give him something in his hand as well. We know he had a sword with him. He had a sword with him. Maybe he's got it raised up high. Oh, that looks more like a club. I guess I'm having him fight with clubs today. That's fine, that's fine. Well, as my grandpappy Took used to tell the story. Now remember, his stories they usually came after a few half pints or sometimes whole pints at the Green Dragon. And he said a bolt of lightning came from the sky and hit old Gandalf's sword and he smote him like that. I don't know if that was the case. But I kind of always liked that old story my grandpappy Took would tell. So, let's see. How about from this cloud here? Maybe. See if we can do some, what we would call lightning. I'm not very good at. It's good though, it doesn't have to be a straight line. I'm not good at drawing straight lines or painting straight lines, so. But we just take it and we just have to make it come down. Never painted lightning before. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know if this looks like lightning at all, but lightning really doesn't have a shape, so I don't think you can really mess lightning up. But it probably should be a little brighter, a little bit more glow to it. All right, I've gone and I've gotten some liquid white, some of that magic white. We'll see if this makes any difference here or if I mess it up. Well, I think it certainly made it look a little better. I wasn't sure if that would do the trick or not. I wasn't sure. I tell you what, that's not too bad. That's not too bad if you're going to do a lightning. Use some of that liquid white that you got. Use some of that liquid white. And we could probably overdo it if we kept going. I'll just maybe take it up a little higher. Maybe. Forms in the cloud right there. And oh, it's got to do something here. Maybe we'll try and put some reminiscence of a glow or something. Some sort of explosion or some sort of power surge. Right through that. There we go. There we go. I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. If you want to do more, you definitely can do more than that. I'm sure many of you are probably much better at that than I. I just like to have a little fun with it. But let's give it a little more runes at the top. A little more runes. Not runes, not letters. But some fallen over walls and things like that. There we go. Just to give it a bit of personality. There we go. We'll put that there. Maybe this came over this way. One point, there was some sort of structure up here. All right. Now let's make that, we'll give that some gray in there just to make it look like it was some sort of rock. There we are. Do some over here. Maybe, yeah, we'll bring that right down. So that was some sort of structure. Some sort of structure there on the side. There we are. Just make it up another color, kind of a gray stony type color. There we go. We're just going to make this give it some shape, some sort of form. There we go. We put these lines in. Try and put some lines in. You maybe take some more time and do that. Anytime you have a straight line, it looks like it was stone that was hewn, that was created to be something, not just random stone. That's how you set it apart from just rock. Now, we did have the Balrog had come right out, climbed right out a window in here. So let's put a window, and it's got to be big enough. Maybe it was broken a little bit. Big enough for that old big Balrog to get through. There we are. Now, we'll come and do these rocks down here. Let's make these rocks in here. And we'll put some snow on them because it's on a very tall part of the mountain. Let's get my other palette knife. I think it fell. Where'd it go? Oh. It wasn't my palette knife that fell. I don't know what it was. But we'll come here. Let's get some of this. We're going to get some titanium white on our brush. And maybe this is some snowy rock here. That'll give us a little bit of separation from that tower. Just bringing that palette knife, letting that paint break off. And when Mr. Gandalf finally does smote this Balrog, he falls down here and breaks the mountain. That's right. Oh, what a battle it must have been. There we go. And maybe put a little over here. There we are. Now let's just take one of these brushes. We've got our 1-inch brush here. We're just going to tap this out at the bottom. Tap that out. Just blend it into the environment. There we go. All right. Oh, there you have it. And just, less than an hour or so, we did old Gandalf fighting that Balrog, transforming from Gandalf the Grey into Gandalf the White. Yes, I hope you do enjoy these paintings. I enjoy our time together. I enjoy you coming along and being able to do this. I love to hear your comments. I love to hear when you've painted along with me. We have fun together, don't we? All right, until next time, goodbye and God bless.